Do you remember when CBS News allegedly was caught tampering with an interview with Kamala Harris in order to help her win and defeat President Trump? Well, we sure do, and so does the executive government. Now, CBS News facing potentially $15 billion. The FCC demanding by the end of the day they turn over everything, and it all comes as Elon Musk is cleaning out the federal government. Folks, we will connect the dots exclusively and tell you who is really behind all of it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. Get ready, folks. You are going to have a full-blown knowledge of what's going on 100 times more than you currently do if you watch this video. And no, there is no tuition required. You are all on scholarship simply for being the person in need of the info we intend to give you. All we ask is that you click the like button. Let's dive in. To give you an idea of just how hot things are right now, from Nick Sortor, President Trump has just appointed Secretary of State Marco Rubio as acting director of USAID, also known as USAID. It was revealed this morning that USAID gave millions for bat virus research in a particular place in China in 2019 and then attempted to cover it up. The corruption ends now. So to help you understand what's going on, I mean, Trump is taking on the forces of everything dark in this world are after him. This man has, he's got chutzpah. He's got real chutzpah. This guy, and Elon Musk, by the way, too. So Marco Rubio is already the acting director of the Secretary of State. What's happened is USAID is this giant department that gives out billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, and it's shady. It's real shady. Well, they all attempted to protest and block Elon Musk from getting access with Doge to the info of what's really been going on with your tax dollars all over the world. They knocked him out. Trump and the rest of them kicked them all out of the building. They're out there protesting, and the Secretary of State has now taken over USAID. This is huge. Elon Musk says, did you know that USAID, using your tax dollars, funded weapon research, including that? Folks, I apologize if you're just listening. I can't say these things on YouTube. That killed a lot of people. Oh, man, what a spicy video. According to, and this is what's crazy. So Kanekoa, I guess, the Great, is the one posting this from the New York Post, and Elon Musk, who is investigating all of this through Doge, is, I guess, confirming it, that USAID funneled millions of dollars to EcoHealth Alliance. It's about to get insane. It's about to get insane what comes out from our government and the people who are going to be very interested in this not coming out. I mean, this stuff makes the JFK files look like nothing. And yeah, you're getting those too. Here's what, and I promise I'm going to get to the CBS News. All of this is connected. All of it. And you're not going to hear this anywhere else. I promise, folks. I'm going to listen. I'm going to stake my reputation on the fact that you stick around for this video. You're going to come away saying, I can't believe what Pro showed me today. All right, here's what Trump has to say about USAID.
USAID, or what's going on there?
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
Now, USAID allegedly is essentially the system that sends out all of these vast billions of dollars, and then allegedly those billions of dollars get funneled back into deep state and deep state supporters. And so Trump and Elon posed an existential threat to the way the system has worked for decades. There was a major effort to make sure that they never were put in the position they currently are. CBS News may, and I assert strongly here, may have been part of that effort to keep Trump and Elon out. Let me read this to you. This is big stuff. CBS News to comply with FCC demand for 60 minutes transcript and video. This is from CBS News, so this is CBS News reporting on CBS News. It says CBS News will provide the Federal Communications Commission with the transcript and camera feeds from a 60 Minutes interview at the center of a complaint alleging news distortion. The FCC sent a letter of inquiry on Wednesday demanding the full unedited transcript and camera feeds from an October interview with former Vice President Kamala Harris about her candidacy for president. CBS said the following: "We are working to comply with the inquiry as we are legally compelled to do." The Center for American Rights, a conservative law firm, filed the FCC complaint on October 16th. It was dismissed on January 16th, but was subsequently reopened by newly appointed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, just days after President Donald Trump took office. All right, well, what's at the heart of this? I promise, folks, hang with me. I'm going to connect all of it. This is from BeHizy Tweets. It says, breaking, CBS News is now in settlement talks with President Trump to pay for the election interference they committed when they deceptively edited Kamala Harris' interviews to make her look good. They will pay millions. Might be more. I'll show you. Just to say this, folks, the FCC demanding that they get this then opens it up to public scrutiny, probably, and then the Trump lawsuit can use it. You seeing how this works? Like the Trump lawsuit, which, by the way, he's already won against Disney. He's already won against others. I mean, we're up to what? $40 million in penalties being paid by these entertainment companies to Trump, Facebook included. So, but the CBS News one it's the big one. It's the big kahuna. So if in the Trump lawsuit, they could not get a hold of the transcript, let's say that the judge wasn't willing to, subpoena that or wasn't willing to make it public, then that would hinder the ability of Trump to win the lawsuit. Well, what if the FCC just went after him instead and obtained it legally? But what if they did that? So here's the video in question. We'll show you. You see what you think. Here we go.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Completely different answers. Just one appears to be fully manufactured, totally artificial. One appears to be reality, and it was not a good reality. Now, here's the breaking news that I'm going to connect all this together for you. From Brian Flood out of Fox News at the time of recording about 2 hours ago. 60 Minutes transcript at center of Trump's lawsuit against CBS is vital to investigation. FCC chair says, I expect CBS to provide it by the end of the day. Folks, we are looking at a stand down. We are looking at a game of chicken between CBS and the FCC, and it's playing out right now. The USAID stuff is taking all the oxygen out of the room, and it should. I mean, it's big. I mean, it's a big deal. The fact that Elon Musk and Doge are cleaning out USAID, it's a huge news story. It's huge, and you gotta have guts of steel to go in and do that, because there are going to be a lot of people ready to be not very nice in return. But this what's going on with FCC is huge, and it's connected. Take a look. Federal Communication Commission Chairman Brendan Carr said on Monday that Americans deserve to see the unedited transcript at the center of President Trump's lawsuit against CBS. And thereby, Trump would have public access to it for the lawsuit, right? In October, Trump filed a $10 billion lawsuit against CBS News, alleging election interference over its handling of the 60 Minutes interview with then Vice President Kamala Harris. $10 billion! Accusing the network of aiding his Democratic rival through deceptive editing. Trump's camp has said CBS essentially aired Harris giving two different answers to the same question, which you all just saw, which raised eyebrows after her first answer was widely mocked as a word salad. Critics accused CBS News of editing Harris' word salad answer to shield the vice president from further backlash. CBS announced on Friday that it would comply and provide the FCC with the transcript and camera feeds from a 60 Minutes interview at the center of a complaint alleging news distortion. Carr appeared on Fox News Channel's American Newsroom to explain why seeing the full transcript is so critical. The head of the FCC says, "We have sought the unedited copy of the transcript and the video from this interview, and as part of the FCC investigation, there was a complaint filed under something called the news distortion policy, and that's a 50-year-old policy at the FCC that applies to broadcasters. And the policy says you can't, swap answers out to make it look like somebody said something entirely different. The classic case is if someone says yes to an answer and you splice in a no answer. Here, it's usually very difficult to make out news distortion complaints. You don't want the FCC leaning in too heavily on this. But here, CBS played the same question on two different programs, and clearly the words of the answers were very different. It's due today, and I expect CBS to provide it by the end of the day to see what in fact was said as part of our news distortion investigation. Folks, you might get it by the end of the day. I don't know. They may make it public. Like, this is a government that could do that. So why would CBS News do that? Why would 60 Minutes put themselves in such a position? Like, we know that they're in favor of Kamala Harris, right? Probably, maybe, yeah. Okay. But why would they put themselves at a $10 billion, and by the way, if we assume that punitive may be involved, $15 billion, why would they put themselves in that kind of hot water? I mean, that's crazyville, right? Well, let me show you. From Brian Schwartz, and we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine, April 16th, 2024. This is from CNBC. Yeah, I feel like a little bit like Glenn Beck with the dry erase markers or the chalkboards or whatever. Hope I'm not, folks. I hope I don't seem like the guy with the cork board connecting all the dots for you. It'll make sense. Hang tight. Biden fund gets big donation from son of Republican megadonor Larry Ellison. We won't dive too deep into this. I just need to tell you that Larry Ellison is the fourth richest person in the world. It's the guy who did the Oracle company. David Ellison is his son. Larry Ellison tends to be sort of a right-leaning kind of guy. David Ellison, not so much. David Ellison gave just about $1 million to get Joe Biden reelected. And this came back in April of 2024. Well, guess what else was going on? September 19th, 2024, from The Hollywood Reporter. This is the final article. We're gonna connect all the dots. You ready? Who's really going to run Paramount? By Kim Masters of The Hollywood Reporter. David Ellison, that's the son of Larry Ellison, will soon take over as the entertainment giant's CEO. But his mogul father, Larry, put in the $6 billion to buy it. So which Ellison will be boss? Now, to make all of this clear, let me say that Paramount, you might say, owns CBS. In fact, Paramount owns Viacom CBS, which is CBS, and Skydance just bought or is buying in the purchase or is in the process of purchasing Paramount, which, by the way, if you really want to get confusing, is part of a different organization, I believe, called Amusement. I forget the name of the thing that owns all of this, but it's like amusement organization, American Amusement Company, something like that. They're being bought by Skydance, and David Ellison is in charge of that. So the guy who is spending $6 billion to buy CBS, buy Paramount, he's a huge Joe Biden supporter, and one would assume huge Kamala Harris supporter. So if you're 60 Minutes and you're looking at the landscape of television and what's going on with streaming and all these shows, and your ratings might not be what they once were, how do you ensure that your new boss would keep you around? Now, I'm just speculating here, folks. What would you do to try to make sure that you're in good with the new boss, the guy, the son of the fourth richest man in the world who's buying CBS, that being David Ellison? Well, one thing's for sure. He's spending millions of dollars on trying to get Biden or Harris elected. You might help with that, and then he might help you. Now, that's me speculating, but it's me speculating based on just normal human behavior. Corrupt human behavior, but normal, corrupt human behavior. Here's the story from back in September. The deal that is expected to install Skydance chief David Ellison as chairman, CEO, and hopefully savior of Paramount Global is a labyrinth of entities, trusts, and transactions. which is why I was struggling to remember the name of the overall company that owns this thing. Also potentially complicated, assuming the deal closes sometime next year, is the question of control. Skydance sources say 41-year-old David will select the board and run things entirely independent of his father. Also known as the world's, at this time it was fifth, I think he's fourth now, worth an estimated $176 billion per Bloomberg's Billionaires Index tally on September 18th. But Larry, 80 years old, will own the controlling shares. Having previously bestowed billions on David and his sister, Meghan, Larry has now backed his son to the tune of $6 billion as David pursued his dream of running a legacy studio. So young David, young 40-year-old David, wants to own CBS. 60 Minutes knows he's going to be the big boss. He's becoming the big boss. He's going to pick the board. He's spending millions of dollars on Biden and Kamala Harris. 60 Minutes also already probably inclined to do such a thing, but this would be the tipping point, perhaps, as them to say, how do we get in with the new boss? How do we make sure that we stay no matter what the reshuffle looks like? How do we make sure he knows we are the kind of people he wants to have on his network? Well, you join in and helping out. Let me bring it back now to this USAID. As we are getting ready to watch CBS News perhaps pay out billions of dollars. And by the way, hang on just a minute. Let me go back. I got to show you this. There's one more thing I want to show you. Go back to the Hollywood Reporter for a minute. $6 billion to buy it, and it may be on the hook for $10 to $15 billion. This thing, because of the politics of it, the cost that it may have to pay Trump could double the entire worth of it. Now, I don't know if he's going to win the full amount. I'm just saying what's on the line here. And that amount of money, the legacy media is not doing well. Okay. It's time to connect it all. The legacy media would be inclined to be out there right now screaming from the rooftops about USAID, because USAID funds a whole lot of stuff that the legacy media loves, because the legacy media is largely intertwined, interconnected with, well, all the stuff that the left has been doing. That's what entertainment is connected with. And by the way, CBS News is owned by CBS. CBS is entertainment, allegedly. And so all of this is connected. The legacy media would love to be screaming right now at the top of their lungs that this is aid that's going out internationally. They would love to gaslight this situation, because it is. It's almost existential. This is almost an existential threat to the opponents of Donald Trump. And they can't. And the reason that they can't is because $10 to $15 billion is the settlement to Trump from CBS potentially. ABC, which is owned by Disney, already got finished doing their settlement. Facebook has already done their settlement. They can't afford to fight this. This is a very, very strange position for them. And if you're wondering why they've gone silent, it's because they are on the defense in a way that they have never known before. This USAID thing is a massive story. But the reason that the legacy media is not covering it the way that you would anticipate, which would be DEFCON 10,000, they can't afford it anymore. And CBS News, they're the big one going down. This amount of money on the line and this amount of humiliation with the FCC going after them directly, it's putting all of the legacy media in a place where they cannot cover this in a dishonest way, at least not in the moment. What a fascinating thing to watch. All right, folks, I hope that we did a good job doing what we promised we would when we started the video. I hope we connected the dots in a sensible way to help you understand what's going on in today's time. It was a joy. Folks, click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, until the next time we have the joy of learning together, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Well, you see, I wanted to get some inside scoops on Disney and their different corporations, if you know what I mean. So I figured by looking into this fistbowl and sucking it randomly with my own energy that I paid for, you paid for, I could do the whole experience where you can be a master and spy on your targets.
You're an idiot. If you want to get the inside scoop on Disney or even other media organizations, you should check out thatparkplace.com and subscribe to WDW Pro's YouTube channel. That'd be way easier, more accurate, and less dumb.
Are you saying I won't get accurate information this way?
No, you can't.
Who'd think?